be the one that will be shortlisted. Those who are above 35 and apply for general services will be screened out completely. And those who are above 40 who applied as doctors, well, because of experience, we'll also see what that could be done. But as we speak, all of them are in the system. And that's what makes up these 370,000 applicants. So we will move ahead to do the saving in just about 2-3 or 1 week to get that done, and then reduce the number considerably to those ones we can handle for the CBT. And the CBT is going to come through all range of, all questions will be coming from the question bank. So you don't expect that if you are doing your CBT either on your phone or anywhere you should be doing it from, the next person to you will have the same answer as your own. It's not going to be the same. But the bank of questions from which, the bank, questions that they will draw from. So we expect that in the coming weeks, we should be done with the sorting, and we should now be facing the next step, and also try to see how we can complete the process and get the successful ones to go to the academy for training. And apart from this sorting and CBT we're talking about, we also have a further screening procedure, which is drug test. And this is critical to us because we are fighting drugs, and we want to see that those who are in the habit of selling drugs or taking drugs or become surrogates to those drug traffickers, we don't want them to come in. So we have a way of screening, checking the background to screen out those ones. Those ones amongst them, we found that they need help from us. Of course, we will be happy to provide those help to them. So this is the process which we are trying to put in place. And like I said earlier, the integrity of this process is assured, and we want to see as much as possible that the good candidates and good officers come into the agency. Because of the work of the agency now will require people who are dedicated, people who are professionally qualified, and people who know that they're coming here to work, not anybody, any other ulterior motive. And of course, we have a management that will not stomach anybody with those type of tendencies. In fact, we are doing what we call reinventing the whole agency to ensure we have an agency that will work as an institution, an agency that will be strong, an agency that will be stronger than an individual, and an agency that will have a focus on the mandate for which it is set up to deal with. So that is why we what we are doing, and in the coming days, the successful ones who have applied will be called upon for the CBT or for any other process that will help us. Thank you.
Very well, thank you for a very wonderful presentation there. I'm sure for those that are itching to ask questions, quite a number or a lot of their questions would have been answered, and I've seen already hundreds of questions in our DM. We'll try as much as possible to take. So I would like to enjoin all of us to please let's make our questions very brief, sharp, straight to the point, so that we can accommodate, because we 1.5 hours left and we have to attend to quite a lot of your fears, your doubts, and those issues bothering you. That's why we're bringing this to engage with you as part of our commitment to you. Okay, let's start straight with the conversation proper. Let's start from okay, Dr. Isa at Nashuku. Please unmute yourself and ask your question quickly.
My question is to why your side up to now is not up to standard, because up to now my application I cannot submit it completely.
Okay, that's your question, right?
Yes.
Okay, I let me invite for those questions that border on technicalities on the portal. I think the one of our colleagues, two of our colleagues who are very much involved at that level would be assisting the agency secretary. And so let me quickly invite M.I. Aminu to respond to that. I'm sure you heard him.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Femi, and the agency secretary, Mr. Shedrack. Also, thank you for that very detailed opening remarks which you just delivered. To the question by Dr. Isa on the sites not up to standard, this has nothing to do with the sites. I think you should check your internet or update your browsers. And this is not a problem that has to do with the server, because we have hundreds of people, applicants that have successfully, completed their application, particularly in the last 10 days. The portal has performed efficiently, so I advise you to check your internet. You can also seek the services of internet cafe providers so that you can quickly complete your application process. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Emma. Let's quickly, there are quite a number of questions. I'll come back to the space. There are quite a number of questions in our DM, but most of them bother on just one single issue. For instance, David Avive, citizen, is asking, I applied but couldn't print application form or access my application portal. Why can I print? How can I print my application form and access my application portal? There are quite a number of them. Bidemi Emmanuel. Well, Bidemi Emmanuel is actually delivering a judgment. The recruitment portal is not working. Are you sure? With hundreds of thousands of people already applied? Okay, please, Emma, please quickly respond to those that are finding it difficult they have applied.
Okay, thank you once again, Mr. Femi. For the applicants that are still finding it difficult to print, first I need to understand, have they completed the registration process? If they have completed, of course, they shouldn't have any issue. They should be able to submit and print, because it is automatic. The moment you submit, it takes you to a box where to say print out your acknowledgement slip. All you need to do is either you upload or you print out. And if you're able to upload, I think that shouldn't be a problem, because you have your slip. It means you have your slip. So even if it is time for the interview, you can go to any business center and print out your slip if you have the PDF copy. And for those that have been successful in registration and you have your application details, that shouldn't be a problem. Or you need to copy out your application details when it's time for the screening. If you are invited for the interview, the technical team at the selection center will assist you to complete the printing so far as you have your application details. Because all we need to do at our own center here is to key in your application details, and we can print it in situ at the selection center. So where you have issues is where you don't have your application details. If you don't have your application details, obviously it means you did not complete your registration, and there is no way you can print out a slip. So you must take note of these points I've raised before you can conclude that your registration is unsuccessful. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Emma. Let's quickly go to others. We have quite a lot in our DM, but I'll come to the space now. Let's ask those Tinto Sintuji at Osinko. Are you still there? Okay, if you are not there, let's take the Jakes Trudu. The Jakes Trudu, quickly ask unmute yourself and ask a question.
All right, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Please go ahead.
All right. So my own is I was able to register for myself and a couple of people, but then the period when I was registering, there's this field, there's this place that was supposed to fill in that says short code. So apparently the short code usually fills in itself once you've selected the category you want to sign up for. But the period we were registering, it wasn't like that. So I made reference to the flyer that was made to announce the recruitment. So in the flyers, we have the different categories with a code by the side, by the side that I think is Compass. There's Compass 1, Compass 2, Compass 3, and all that. So that was what I used while registering. So now I want to know for sure if that can affect my application or it's still fine.
All right, thank you. Let me ask the secretary if you want to respond to that, or you still want Emma take care of that also.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, is the agency secretary there?
Okay, let me respond to this issue. Thank you, Mr. Tudu, for the question. Well, if you are able to put in the Compass 8 thing, so long as you have your name number at the end of it, and it comes out like that, when they have to query whether you actually applied or not at the technical session when you have been interviewed, it will come out certainly that you are there. The only scenario that will not be accommodated is where you said, oh, well, I started an application, you did not complete this application, but then you picked something and it's not on the server. And certainly you may not be seen on the server or in the system for you to be interviewed. But I not just you, I've heard from others who complain that, oh, what they saw is Compass 8, Compass 9, and all those ones, they added it to their application. I think it's not bad because that shows it's either superintendent or whatever rank you're applying for definitely will be seen, as long as your NIN number is included in your application and it comes out as your application number. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Let me also, maybe you need to quickly respond. Let me quickly take this from DM. David Glory Ima Obong says, I downloaded my application as PDF, but my passport didn't show. Am I the only one? Okay. Ibrahim Aminu Abdul, please, I have submitted I have to edit or adjust some of these things because of the bad spelling there, so please bear with me if I'm a bit slow about it. Submitted my application, but when I printed the form, I saw someone says passport on the form. Okay, so King Mupinani is asking, I understand management is really doing its best. My concern is on the fact that I'm sure NDLA needed humans to fill up some available space. I'll really be happy hearing here today that shortlisted candidates will be contacted on a certain date and not keep us waiting. Okay, so please let's have the agency secretary respond to some of these issues raised in our DM. Over to you, sir.
Last person, and quickly tell him or her that we're not recruiting to occupy space. If you notice the previous one we did, what we did was actually to show that even those ones who are far away from the city centers, like the state capitals or Abuja, and have never thought of being employed or applying from the comfort of their villages and being employed at the federal level. They got job last year in the last one we did. And that's the integrity which we're putting into this particular one as well. It's not just anybody who say, oh, I have a big guy who is in the National Assembly or who's a minister or who's a top civil servant or a top military officer that will get me there. No. If you are applying from a village in Mijimbri, or from far away in Isa in Sokoto State, or from somewhere off the coast of Yenagoa, and you are qualified and you have what it takes to do this job, you will certainly be contacted for the interview. And if you go through the process, you get your job. You may wish to ask anyone last year, if asked anybody if they actually got anyone to get them through the process. Most of them, and I think almost all, because I don't know who came in through or we just recruited anybody. We did it in a sense, in a way that if you are qualified, you get a job. We have a criteria which you apply. Regardless of who you are, you may have somebody who is behind you, but if you fail to pass those criteria, you will not get a job in NDLA, and certainly not with this new management. The management ensures that what we have as staff are those ones who can do the job. Then to quickly go back to David Glory, who said his passport did not show, I think his own problem is his uploading. He may have so many pictures in his picture book, and then went and uploaded another person's passport. Otherwise, we don't have passports in our own system for you to upload anyone we have already preloaded. So it is a problem from your own entry, not from the server or from our network. So I think that is with another person's passport, that could be an identity theft, which will become a problem for you. So we don't want to go into that. So I think on the whole, we want to see that his passport did not show. Well, if your passport is not on your printout sleeves, it's not a problem, so long as you have your application number with your NIMC, which is your unique identifying number. That will suffice, even if you don't have your passport on it at all. But if you have your passport on it, it must be shown that it's you. Otherwise, it could be taken as an. But those ones who are going to do the screening, they're not part of us here, and they wouldn't know who you are until they see you by the passport and open your system. But if your NIMC number is there, that again can save the day for you. So what is important is the unique identifier, which of course is a NIMC number. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for the good assurances there. I'm sure quite a lot of people who have been having some fears and panicking before they will probably be coming down now. Okay, let's come to Ahmed Mohammed. Ahmed Mohammed, let's hear from you.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak. Good evening to you all.
Good evening. Go ahead quickly.
My question is that the last time you held the space on this recruitment process, I asked question about my local government, which is not included on the list, which is going to be local government in Adamawa State. So you said that it will be rectified immediately. So I waited for almost a week and the local government was still not there. So I had to use another local government. I don't. And second, the issue of passport. There are many people that whose their passport have not shown on the slip, and we uploaded the passport. But when you print out, it will be you will see the confirmation that it has been uploaded. But during printing the slip or after printing, you will find out that the passport is not showing. So I don't know. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ahmed. I think the second leg of your question had already been answered by the agency secretary, but then he would need to respond to that again. Okay, over to you, sir, on those. I mean, he had to, when he couldn't get his local government, he had to choose the nearest local government that is available on the portal to fill his form and submit, and then the passport issue. Please, let's get a reaction to that.
Thank you, Femi, for saying that we have answered the second question of passport. Of course, indeed, we have addressed that. If your NIMC number is there and your passport is not showing on your printout, we have a way of checking at the time of screening to see that you are the one, so long as your NIMC number corresponds with who you are. And then on the issue of local government, I think it was an initial problem, which of course, all the local governments are in the constitutions which were fed into the server, but somehow some glitches occurred that actually made them to fail. Not just your local government, it affected so many others. And we got those complaints coming from different states and local government. That was rectified immediately. And I think what they did was to show that you can now impute your own local government into it. If you have decided to choose another local government, which of course maybe you have a dual citizenship of two local governments, maybe your mother comes from one, so long as you're not impersonating anybody, that local government admits that you are part of them by showing your certificate of state origin. Of course, you have no problem with that as well. Because some of us, we have our mother coming from one local government and staying in another local government and working from that local government as well. So all what we need is to identify that you are the one who is applying. But of course, looking at the quota system, because this has to reflect the federal character as well. All local governments must be represented, and there's a number to each local government. So the fear I have is if you are taking a local government which is not yours, and you are increasing the number for them, then certainly you are depriving somebody of that local government. And if eventually it's seen that you're not from that local government by what you have uploaded, that may not really be a good outcome for you. Because we expected everyone to pick his own local government because the Constitution requires that in employment we should reflect. And indeed, NDLEA are going beyond the requirement of state equality to local government equality. So there's no local government in this country that will not be represented in this recruitment, which is why you don't need to know anybody. So long as you're qualified and you have all what it takes and you properly apply, you'll get this job. So that's the second assurance I'm making. So you don't really need to show that you have to know somebody. Yes, thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you very much for that. I think let me also invite MI Aminu to probably shed some more light on that. MI, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you once again, Mr. Feli. I will add more light on the issue of passport. What I will say is the moment you don't get the appropriate size of the passport, obviously there is no way your passport will successfully upload into the system. So most times candidates, or will I say applicants, when they are filling the forms, they don't take their time to follow the instructions, because when you upload your passport and if it is not successful, a message will pop up, and you need to be very observant to notice that message that your passport is not the appropriate size. I think the appropriate size is about 50 KB. That's the standard size. So once you don't get that size, you change it to JPG format and you upload it. JPEG, sorry, you use JPEG format and make sure it's not more than 50 KB, and your passport will be successfully uploaded. Once you don't get that size, there is no way your passport will go in. Like Mr. Femi said, or the agency secretary, we don't have passports in our system where you put a particular passport and somehow another passport will come in. The system is garbage in, garbage out. It's what you put in that will definitely come out. So our advice applicants that whenever they are completing the registration portal, they must first of all go through the instructions that is on the NDLA portal. When you don't read the instructions, you just go straight and you begin to download documents and you fill in things. There is no way you can get it right. To add also on the issue of local government, that has been resolved long ago, so I'm surprised to hear this complaint. So that issue has already been well taken care of by the agency secretary. There's no way you can come from a particular local government and you go and select a different local government. Well, I wish you luck. If you have the necessary papers to prove to us that you are from that local government, when you are called in for the selection interview, then you have no issues. So that's it for now. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, MI. Let's take some more before we go into our DM again. I think the people in our DM, they are not really ready to give me some respite here. But I'll come to you. Just hold on. Let's hear from Engineer Abdul Majid. Engineer, put yourself and in few seconds ask your question. Go ahead, or I go to the next person. Engineer Abdul Majid, are you there? Okay. If Engineer Abdul Majid is not ready, let's have
Good afternoon.
Afternoon. Go ahead quickly.
Yes, my question was to ask about how long the recruitment process will take. Like after this, the registration is done, how long will it take before the selection will be made for the CBT test? Thank you.
All right, thank you, Engineer Abdul Majid. Let's hear from the agency secretary.
Well, thank you, Abdul Malik. Of course, we have a plan for this recruitment. I'm going by our work plan as well as the milestones we have set for this recruitment. I think the sorting out will not take us more than a week or two. Then the whole process, we want it concluded before the end of June. So let us just leave it at that, because so many other things, intervening factors are also there. And we give room for such intervening. It could be earlier than that, it could be later than that. But of course, we have milestones which we have set. We don't want to delay it. We don't want anything to distract us from the focus we have currently. So you just be rest assured that you'll be contacted very soon. If you are one of those successful ones, who will go through the sorting process. Thank you.
All right, sir. Let's. I think that's been taken care of. Let's come to Tiwa's dad. I hope you are not Tiwa's dad. Quickly, let's hear from you in a few seconds. If you are not ready, to the next. Yeah, but be quiet. Okay.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, the noise from your background.
I'm moving away from this, sir. Yeah, can you hear me now, sir? I hope I'm clear, sir.
Go ahead, quickly.
All right, sir. My question is bordering on the issue of uploading most of these things, most of the documents. Because some are appearing in picture, and some are appearing in a link. I don't know, am I to upload the picture or and when we are attaching the documents for the registration? I don't know if you understand, sir, or I should make an assessment.
Yeah, I think I got you. But let me push that over to the agency secretary.
Sorry, is it uploading of documents?
Yeah, he's talking about your
Hello, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, the documents, are they to be in picture form or in document form? If you understand what I mean, sir.
I think I've mentioned something on this earlier when I was talking about the passport photograph. All documents are to be uploaded in JPEG. That's like a picture format, not document. School certificates and NIN and other documents should be in JPEG format. It is there. The computer will prompt JPEG. Did you get it? All right.
Yes, I got it.
Okay, thank you, Chiwa's dad. Let's quickly go to the next person. The time is actually pursuing us. Let's come to Timothy Ekele. Timothy Ekele, can you quickly ask your question?
Okay, sir. Good afternoon, sir. And
go ahead, please. Thank you.
So, please, my question goes to I was part of the first set of people that registered when the portal just opened, and then it was quite challenging, and there was a lot of errors in the website. So, and that you already treated one of the questions from Ahmed that stated about the local government issue. I also had that same issue because I'm from Kogi State, Anfa local government. I couldn't find the local government. I couldn't find any local government near the local government that is even close to me. So, but somehow I just picked one. And again, another challenge I had then was uploading my documents. Of course, I read through. I saw the kind of document that was requested, and I make sure I converted all my documents to the picture format. Yes, and I did upload. I did the uploading, and I also included link because I had some of those documents on my Google Doc. So I included the link, but some way, while I tried to sign up, I saw that most of those things I uploaded got deleted after I signed up. And when I was trying to review the profile, I tried to review. There's a way when you click complete, it brings up everything for you to verify and be sure everything is there. I didn't see most of those my documents there, and so I don't know if there's a way we can go back to edit and maybe re-upload some of those things. And now that the website has been optimized, maybe we can go back to correcting the local government issue that we had, because I think there's no way for we that applied earlier. There's no way we can correct that error from our end if we don't have access to a kind of way to edit. And for that's what I have to say. And I don't know if I can get an helpful response to that, sir.
Okay, thank you. The agency secretary.
Okay, thank you, Femi. Mr. Keller, I think what you have done, if you have entered your details and an application number is generated for you, what we'll advise you to do is, when you are coming, if you are successful through the sorting and you are coming for the screening interview, come with your original local government, and we can recognize the fact that you have some of those challenges. And your NIPSI number with the application number generated for you will be enough for us to consider you, and the panel will take cognizance of the fact that you had those initial challenges. They just come with the relevant document to show the local government you come from, and then at that point, I think they will have a way of looking at your case, because we all understand that there was that initial problem.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that reassuring response. And I'm sure somebody like Ahmed Mohammed would also be glad hearing this again. I can see there's an indication from MI. He wants to add something to what the agency secretary has said. Please, MI, go ahead quickly.
All right, thank you, sir. Mr. Timothy Ekele, thank you for your question. Regarding the issue of local government, that challenge has already been noted by the NDLA management and the technical team, and that is why when you are coming for the selection interview, of course you are coming with your original documents. You still make available to us the photocopies of these original documents, and the essence of you uploading these documents online is for us where there are serious doubts. We can revisit the portal, check, and make our own verifications. And I can also tell you that even all after the initial selection interview, where you are finally selected, where you are reporting to the academy for training, you still undergo another process of documentation, whereby your documents will also be screened. While you are on training, there will be vetting on you, your local government, your school you attended. You have to verify these documents, whether they are even authentic. And even your local government, sometimes we may need to check that. So all this issue of whether this is your local government or not must have been taken care of during the selection process and the initial documentation during your selection. So to your second question on you completing the registration without successfully uploading your documents, I think that is quite impossible, because if you check those fields where you have to upload documents, they are marked in red. It means that you must complete a stage before you can be able to even move to the next stage. So if you cannot successfully upload your documents, I don't think, for what we have practiced here, it is not possible, and from the way the system is set, it is not possible for you to complete your registration without even, uploading your necessary documents. Because if you check the fields, they are marked red. What that implies is that without achieving that particular field, you cannot move to the next field. So don't be apprehensive. For you to get that message that you have successfully completed your registration, obviously you must have uploaded your documents successfully. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, MI. I'm just attending to some other. I'm just going through our DM again. Let me quickly read some messages in our DM so that the agency secretary and possibly MI can attend to some of them. Okay, I have Chioma at Shamsi Boss. Chioma is asking, what rank of military officers is qualified for standing as guarantors? What rank of military officers is qualified to stand as guarantors? That is one. That's from Chioma at Shamsi Boss. Then Nuruddin Abubakar Ola. Nuruddin Abubakar is asking, I haven't been able to register up till now. Wow. So sorry about that. Well, you need to do some up your game. Maybe check your browser, your network, or possibly check into a cyber cafe where they can assist you. So RBG is asking, so applicants with the age below 30 will not be shortlisted. I'm sure RPG, you are missing the point, but then let me leave this to the agency secretary to attend to. Okay, Omobademuyiwa is saying this space discussion is a positive step going forward. My question is, what are the categories of people that can sign as guarantor? And secondly, where is the training coming up in case one scales through the test and interview? Okay, agency secretary, you are please invited to respond to some of these issues. Over to you.
Thank you, Femi. Thank you very much. Let me start from Chioma. Say what is the category of person or the qualification or the rank of a person to stand as a guarantor. I think if every other document you must have signed or seen before, the person must be in the category of an officer. Then it's an officer of either in the military, in the police, or in the civil service, or somebody who is a counselor, or is a minister, or is an imam, or a well-respected person who could easily be traced. That is the kind of person that should be your guarantor. And that person must be somebody of integrity as well and of impeccable character, who can attest to who you are. In case there's anything to the contrary, we hold that person responsible. Then on the issue of age, I think the gentleman who asked that question has not read the instruction very well. Because what we do here, we rush to completing applications without going through the instruction. If you look at the instructions for the category of senior officers, for the general duty officers, is 35, maximum 35. If you are a specialist doctor, not any other specialist, a doctor, we allow a doctor at the age of 40 to also register because we need their expertise and the experience they have so that they can treat our officers and their families. Then the training usually will take place in our academy in Jos. So anybody who is successful will be going to Jos. If you have not been to Jos before, I think Jos is a beautiful place and it's one place in Nigeria that everyone would like to go to. So those of you who will be successful, you'll be privileged to go to Jos for your training. And that is where you have your formal training. I may also ask my colleagues if they have anything to add to what I've said to also add. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I think that will suffice for now. Let's quickly go to the next people. Please, I can see all of you are eager to ask questions. Just relax. We'll try. We still have about 1 hour or just ensure that when you ask, when it's your turn to ask questions, be very brief, few seconds, so that we can pass the microphone round quickly. After those of you whose requests have not been granted, please just hold on. As soon as we're done with the sets that's on the speaker's table, would definitely move to your turn, to you. Okay, let's quickly take Abdulaziz Biodun, go ahead and unmute yourself and let's hear from you.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. I almost thought you forgot me because I have a red tie. I was thinking you thought I'm an agency personnel. Thank you. My question is about masters. If you have masters, because there is one of the instructions on the flyer is any credentials you did not declare before registration, it will not account for you later on the career. So if you have masters, how do you go about it? That is one. Secondly, a little clarification about those who are having issues with downloading their PDF. The problem is because I registered in the first week when it was very, very difficult to register, and then I registered some people, so I have some experience in that. There are two buttons up that says, one says print, one says PDF. If you click the PDF, the whole thing will scatter. And that is what most people are having problem with. The moment you print you get to your slip, just click your Control P. From Control P, you can either save as PDF or you print directly like that. And every of your documents that are needed to be printed, including your guarantor forms, will be printed. So that is clarification to those who are saying they couldn't download the PDF. I don't think there's an issue on that. Don't click on Get PDF. Just print. Once it shows you your slip, once you put print, you can from there you can now say save or you print directly. Then the issue of masters. I want to commend the agency for a very job well done. For people like us who are also public relation officer, you are doing a very, very fantastic job. Thank you. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you, Biodun Abdulaziz. I'm sure you're already doing part. You're already responding to some of the issues raised by your compatriots out there. But then, before I invite the agency secretary, I think we can still take one more question. I think we should adopt this approach so that we can pass the mic, because there are quite a lot of people queuing up. I think what's the name again? Okay, Sinto Situnji at Osino. I've invited you before. You are still here. Can you quickly ask your question?
I no longer have the question. Thank you very much.
Okay, you no longer have a question. That's awesome. Thank you very much. And I will need to take you to the listeners' corner now so that some other person can seize the opportunity. Please bear with me. Okay, let's invite the agency secretary to respond to Abdulaziz Abiodun.
Thank you, Abdulaziz. Thank you for your kind words on the agency, as well as your advice to other would-be applicants. We still have few more hours to go. So the applicants, those who are still struggling, can now take your advice to go ahead and do their registration and print out their document. On the issue of master degree, of course, if you don't declare your degree or your qualification at the time of entry or at the time of application, you can't come in subsequently to say, oh, well, I have to apply for a junior because I know senior one is very competitive. Nobody will listen to you at that point. And of course, nobody will take into consideration your qualification. As far as we know, there's a civil service rule or the general rule that applies to the rank that will be assigned to anybody who is entering the government service on the first instance. So if you come in with a master degree, and you, of course, for people like who read architecture, master degree is the first qualification ever for them to come to be registered architects. And those ones have been taken care of in the instructions you see there, the position that an architect can actually apply for. Same with those with MBBS. You have seen the qualification and the rank they can apply for. Otherwise, any other person, if you have sociology, you have a master degree in sociology, you have a master degree degree in history or in anything, you have to follow the process and come in on grade level 8. There are few professionals that have been given the exemptions from starting on grade level 8, and that includes legal practitioners, lawyers who have been called to bar and they're coming in here to practice as lawyers with us. Then those ones who are medical doctors and some other allied professions, they have a starting point in civil service. So we're following what the civil service has provided. We're not adding to it, neither are we subtracting from it. So if we add at the point of our advertisement, which I doubt we did, then of course at the point of registration, it will be corrected. And that is where your qualifications will be seen. And if you are one of those professionals that start on grade level 9, you start on grade level 9. If you are those to start on grade level 12, start on grade level 12 or grade level 10 or grade level 11, because we have that grade level 11 in agency. So it doesn't really matter of so long as you declare your degree or your qualifications, then you have done your own part. You leave the rest to the agency when you are being documented and when you are successful with the application being documented. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Agency Secretary. I'm sure Abdulaziz Abiodun, that is clear. And for those who are concerned about that, the fact that you couldn't even attach or put that in appropriate columns on the portal where you apply does not really away the advantage you have with your additional qualifications. If you are invited, when you are invited for documentation, you can declare all of that, and that at that point would count for you. That's the long and short of that particular one. Okay, let's quickly come to. Thank you very much once again, Agency Secretary. Where are we going to next? Okay, let me see. Mohammed Raif. Mohammed Raif, can you unmute yourself quickly?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I really greet you for the month of the Ramadan, and I wish for everyone to succeed in his life. And I'm really hearing something for the first time. I have no idea about this one before I hear what the people are saying, but I pray for God that everyone can get what we want. But first of all, we have to ask God to help us, because we cannot yes, we have to do what we have to do as a human being, but we have to depend on God first and ask God to help everyone. Thank you very much, and nice to talk to you, and nice to be with you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Mohammed Raif, and we say amen to your prayers. Thank you for being part of this conversation. Okay, let's go to the next person, and that is Awa at Awa Boy. Awa, please go ahead and ask your question. If Awa is not ready, I'll go to the next person, and that is M. Nasir. M. Nasir is an engineer. M. Nasir, please go ahead.
All right, thank you so much. I have a question here, which is almost reverse to the case of what Abdulaziz asked earlier. I helped some other persons who registered. I myself registered, and I also helped other persons to register, to which most of the results, some persons I registered them, they do not have the result at hand, but they have a few months, let's say 1 or 2, at most 3 months to get some of those results at hand. So I understand the reason probably on my own. I assumed because most of the higher qualifications are not given asterisk for what they call 1 to fail if you have or if you don't, despite the fact that you've selected a cadre in which you are required to upload or to input those what they call it those information. So some persons who have registered them they don't have what they call it, those results at hand. I don't know because I can hear some persons asking questions regarding when the CBT will be home, and a diplomat answer has been given to them, to which I'm sure even the secretary does not know exactly to what they call it, to which we are coming for the CBT. I understand that. So is it possible for those who have taken those what they call it, qualification, and you don't have the result at hand, to which is on view, to collect a form of to whom it may concern from such an institution that might represent those results or something? I don't know if the questions is well gotten from the what I was saying, if you understand the question. Thank you.
Perfectly well. Thank you, Nasser. Your question is understood. I'll hand you over to the agency secretary to respond.
Thank you, Engineer Nasir. I think this question, I think, is something that should not even be asked at all, because you must be qualified to apply. If you don't have the results which you professes to have at the time you're applying, then you're not qualified. So it's not something that you can apply for a position you don't have the qualification prospectively. So it's expected that you are qualified on the date of application. So if you don't have that, we don't expect you to come with it. Because if you're coming as a superintendent, you must have passed the exam, either HND or your degree, and served as a copper before you come in to join us. So if you don't have that, then you're not qualified. If you say you're NCE and you have written your exam, you don't know what your result is, and you're waiting the results to come next month, and then you have applied, you're not qualified to apply. So the answer is obvious, that at the point of application is to be qualified for that particular position you're applying for. Anything subsequent is not admissible.
So does that mean everybody, those ones will go home, or they can be demoted to the, for example, of those who are HND and ND, are they going to be given an opportunity to use the ND results, or they will be sent home, back home? I don't know. Can you make clarification to that, if possible, if you have answer to that?
Sorry, come again.
Like for those who have NCE to university, or national diploma to HND, higher national diploma, and they've applied for higher national diploma, or they've applied with the what they call it degree, and to which they have the NCE results, and they used through it to what they call a direct entry, or they've gotten from ND to HND, and now they could not be able to qualify because they don't have the result at hand. They're not prospective qualified the candidates. Are they going to use the national diploma for that, or they will be sent home?
It's what you apply for that will be examined upon. And if you're not qualified on what you applied for, then of course you can't come up and say that you want to be examined. For instance, you have NCE and then you're now saying, oh, I have a degree, because you have actually gone in for a degree program, but the result is yet to come, and you apply as a superintendent, then of course you're not qualified. So we can't do that your NCE, because what you profess to have is your degree, which you are not qualified. You know, we have so many people who are applying for this job. So we want somebody to be smart, look at our instructions, and following instructions very well is part of this process we are doing. So it's not just anybody who has no attention to details, because we need people with attention to details to work in the agency. But the agency is a highly professional and technical agency. So it's not just anywhere you're coming and you think you can come and work because you want to be paid. The people who are working here, they have actually seen that it is not just working in the agency, but you need to have the skills that require you to work in the agency, which includes attention to detail. And nobody should come in and say, oh, well, I'm expecting my degree in 3 months, and I hope the process of recruitment will take place in the next 4 months, by which time I would have gotten my degree, and so I can apply for a superintendent. If you do that, I'll tell you that you failed from the beginning, and you cannot show your face to us and say you want to be an agent of NDLEA.
All right, thank you very much for that sharp one. I think the message is clear. MI is indicating he wants to add something to that.
Yes, Mr. Femi. Well, first, let me even commend the agency secretary for being so polite in responding to that question, because
in the first instance, that question shouldn't have even come up. But Mr. Tuku or Mr. Matthew, he didn't know to worry because the system is programmed such that we, the humans, we don't even need to see such kinds of applications. The system will automatically read you out. So it's not about, bringing sentiments, whether for us to look and start thinking and developing that pity for you that you're almost graduating. Oh, let us see, maybe your certificate will be ready. The system is programmed such that get out automatically. So this is not an issue we should even belabor ourselves on it. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you very much, Emma. Let's try to take some 2-3 questions together now. I hope the General Secretary will be able to take notes like he's been doing. Let's have Ifu. Let's have a woman for the first time, I think. Ifu Diver. Ifu Diver, please go ahead, unmute yourself and let's hear you quickly. Ifu Diver, if your network, you've been raising up your hands. It's okay if she's not ready. Let's have JP Clem. Okay, Ifu, you ready now? JP Clem, hold on. Let's have. Yeah, Ifu Naya. Yeah, Ifu, go ahead. Okay, she's muted herself again.
Okay. Thank you so much. Making it happen.
Go ahead and ask your question.
Okay. I know this question has been asked before.
I think people is having issues with our network. If you can't get,
can you hear me?
Okay, come on. Okay, go ahead quickly.
Yeah, I said for one, I registered I successfully registered and immediately I clicked the submit button. I was logged out of the system. I tried logging back in, but I was unable to. So when I finally logged back in, my profile was what popped up and the fields were empty. But when I checked my status, it has changed from pending to submitted. But still up to now, I'm still unable to get my reference ID or to print my acknowledgement slip. And it's not even about network because I've tried different business centers and I've tried so many business centers and cyber cafes. No one has. It's still the same thing. So I don't know. Please advise on what to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Femi. I think this can happen in a situation whereby you register more than once, most probably, and there is no way you have completed your registration and you will not be able to see those fields that you've completed, because the moment you submit, you cannot even access that your page. So obviously, maybe you didn't pay attention in the process of the registration process, and you were not able to print immediately. But even when you have successfully submitted, you should be able to revisit the portal and even check and print out your slip if that process has been completed. So obviously, I think there's an issue. Maybe you can send some message to Mr. Femi and let's see how we can assist you to look at this problem if it's within the legal framework. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Emma. Ifu, I'm sure that is pleasing to you. If the problem persists, please come to my DM. We would see what to do about that. in this particular case, I'm not saying everybody should bombard my DM. There is a limit to the kind of message, the number of messages I can attend to. I'll come to you shortly, JP Clem. Let me quickly.
Sorry, Femi.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Hello, Femi.
Yes, please go ahead, sir. I can hear you.
Let me respond to Funanya again. You see, the issue of application number is very key to this process. If you don't have, if you are in and logged out and there's no application number generated for you, there's no point coming for any explanation by anybody. It's only when you have application number that we can entertain you as an applicant. Because like we said, registration and following the instruction is part of the process of getting yourself qualified for this job. So if you are locked out completely and you don't even have any generated application number, then it's unfortunate because there's no point. We have so many people like you. And if all of them start coming to Femi or any other person like MI to ask these questions, then of course there'll be no way we can focus on other issues. So you must have an application number generated for you, for your questions or any other thing to be entertained further. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that clarification, sir. For those who are having these issues, that is 500 internet server errors. There are some questions on that. Advice to you is keep refreshing your browser till it shows results. Yes, update, that is refresh and update your browser till it shows results. Then for those again who have this problem as a registered user, when it shows incorrect login details, please reset your password. A link will be sent to your email to change your password. Please take note of this so that you won't miss out of the opportunity that is just 3 days. Please go ahead.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Go ahead quickly.
My question is this: I really want to thank the agency first. I was able to successfully register for the application.
JP Clem, I think you are having issues with your network. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Okay, he's back.
The problem
okay, come on.
What happened is I school at Bayelsa State, and which is a Niger Delta, and is a flooded area due to water surrounding, and mistakenly, or it's just like there was a flood, and the flood actually entered my house, and on that ground I lost my original WAEC result with the grade. Though despite I have the testimonial, but I lost the WAEC result with the grade, but I have my testimonial of the WAEC. I'm already a graduate, but due to that incident of the flood, the result was not laminated unlike others, so I lost it. So I don't know if there is any, though I have a photocopy of it, but the original is not there due to that incident. So I don't know if there is any way I can be remedy on it. And probably there is a way out. That's what I want to ask.
All right. Thank you, JP Clem. Let's invite the agency secretary to respond to you.
Okay. I think it's if you say you've lost your credential, I don't think that is a problem, because whatever WAEC is an institution, and you can easily request for a certified copy of your result. So, and it has happened to so many people, either those ones who suffered during the war or those who have been displaced by one reason or the other. So what you can do quickly is just to apply for certified true copy of it. It's not lost completely. You have all your details, don't you? Use those details to apply to WAEC for a certified true copy of your result. Otherwise, you can't come here and show us to whom it may concern, and that I have successfully completed my school cert and I obtained 9 credits, and anyone will believe you. We want to see the one that comes from WAEC. So please, before you are called upon, if you are successful through the screening, then obtain a certified true copy from WAEC office. And I'm sure WAEC has offices in all the states of the Federation now. and you pay certain fees, they'll give it to you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. God bless you.
All right, that is that. Thank you very much. I think JP claim I have to take you to the listeners corner now so that I can take more people. Okay, AB Ahmad, please go ahead and ask your questions in a few seconds. We have just less than 30 minutes to go. AB Ahmad.
Thank you very much. Good evening to you. Are you to me?
Go ahead, quickly.
Though I don't have much question because I already had the answer from the previous answers.
Okay, that's fine. If you don't have, let's give the opportunity to some other people. Okay? Thank you very much, Ahmad. Safe journey on the road. Okay, let's move to the next person, and that is in fact he has actually tried. He has come on the speaker's corner more than 3-4 times. That is M Baki at MB_Brown. Please go ahead.
Hello, good evening, everyone. How is everything going? I just want to use this opportunity to commend you all. This is one of the freest and smoothest exercises I've ever seen. So I just want to use this opportunity to commend you. So my question here is that actually I'm a graduate of Bayero University, Kano. So due to the continuous strike going on, I was not able to receive my certificate up till now, but I was able to receive my statement of results, and I have also undergone my NYC program. So while I was applying for this exercise, I uploaded my statement of results. That's from my university and my NYC certificate. So I don't know whether it will serve as one of the requirements, considering that I'm yet to possess my original certificate from my institution. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think your issue is straightforward, but then let me leave that to the agency secretary.
I think, like Femi said, it's a straightforward question and answer as well, because even if you have that and NYC accepted it for you to do your service, then of course you can bring it. We have another way of checking whether you actually earned it or not, because whether you like it or not, we have the database through JAMB office where we can check your matriculation number. I'm sure you did put your matriculation number. If you did, that will show whether you actually graduated. So, and then if a certificate is pending, it will also tell us the certificate is pending. But if at the end of the day we discover that some people, you come in with a fake thing, then of course that is where we're going to be hard on you. And the agency will not spare you by handing you over to the relevant authorities to take appropriate action. But of course, come with your statement of result, which has been accepted for you to serve NYC. And then we also have a further check, as was earlier mentioned. The check is not ended by just bringing you. We check where the result you tendered to us. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We take the next intervention or question from Abubakar Usman. Abubakar Usman, unmute yourself and let's hear from you quickly.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity. My question goes this way. In 2018, the federal government has gazetted at the meeting of the National Council of Establishment, they gazetted a law saying that engineering graduates should be placed on level 9 in each and every agency of the federal government. But I think the Road Safety Corps are doing that. Some other agencies are doing. But when I asked my colleagues that were employed previously in NDLA, they said that they were given equal levels with all other graduates of level 8. So I want to know is it that the law are not, some agencies were excluded from obeying that law, or there's some peculiarities that the agencies are yet to address? That's my question, sir.
Thank you very much, Abubakar Usman. Unfortunately, I regret to say that I doubt very strongly if you read the instructions, the advertisement put out by the agency. But then I'll leave the agency secretary to complete to say that to put that out appropriately to you. That is to answer your question appropriately. Thank you.
Karusman, if just like Femi has said, if you look at our advertorial very well, the requirements are very clear. What we are asking for is first degree for everyone. Then, of course, there are some qualifications that you earn, which of course will require you to have done your master's degree or some other professional certification. So if you have those professional certification or a master's degree in those subjects, those areas, then of course you'll be considered for a higher grade level. But if you come in, you say you have a master's degree and we have no need for that master's degree, there's just no reason for us to say, well, because you have a master's degree, we must employ you on grade level 9. We may not even need that because it's not our requirement. Our requirement for a master's degree, like I told you, we did a need assessment before the commencement of this recruitment exercise. And the need assessment is to fill in some gaps we have in the agency. And those gaps are being addressed from that advertorial you responded to. So it is not automatic that you come in with a degree, with PhD, and you expect us to give you level 20 or whatever. So it is not what we do. We follow the guidelines laid by the federal government in the recruitment process and registration of officers and personnel to government service. So if your own degree falls within that category of those ones we are looking for, and also the category of the requirements given to us by the federal government, all well and you'll be documented as with your higher degree. So we don't discriminate here. We follow rules and we follow procedures. So whatever you have, declare it. Then if it's not within our own destiny, we have to tell you what our procedure is. And of course, it's in line with the federal government processes. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Let's get to the next person. That is Ahmed Fakumoju. Ahmed Fakumoju at Ola plus 07. A quick one, please, Ahmed.
Thank you very much. I really do appreciate. I think this is one of the best agency I've ever seen that's come up with discussing with the applicants to know the meetings that they went through during the registration. I think one of my questions has been answered by has been asked by Baki or something like that regarding the statement of result and all that. So thank you very much for that, sir.
All right, thank you very much, Ahmed. I think that will be all from you. We'll go to the next person, and that is Temitope Moses. I guess Temitope Moses is a lawyer. I'm seeing her in wig and gown. I hope you are not coming here. Well, the agency secretary is also a lawyer. Temitope Moses, please go ahead.
All right, good afternoon. I'm actually not a lawyer personnel. It's my function as a lawyer, but okay, let's go straight to the point. Can you hear me, sir?
Please go ahead. Please go ahead. I can hear you.
Two questions to ask. The first one is this. So I registered for a family member, right? Notwithstanding, I wanted to print the printing slip. His picture didn't appear in the printout. So I don't know if I should be worried about that. My second question, someone who is a professional as a digital marketing skill and he has been certified, will there be an exception or will there be a rule, a special rule for people like that, especially in the media? So these are the two questions that I want. And also the third question is, I don't know, but how many months is the training? Because I was told that upon your admission, we are going to go for a couple of months of training. So it's a bit up to this year.
All right, thank you very well, Temitope. Straightforward. Let's invite the agency secretary to respond to you quickly.
Okay, thank you, Femi. I got one of the questions. I think he did ask about 3 questions.
Yeah, the first. Okay, let me quickly run through his questions. The first one, which had been answered before, I'm sure he came late. That is.
My first question, what is the appeal? So I don't know if I should be worried.
Specialized skills. And thirdly, he's asking how many months will the training last if eventually he's shortlisted or
Yeah, okay, thank you. You said whether you should be worried if your picture did not appear on your printout slips. I don't think you should be worried if you have your application number generated for you. All you need to do when you are called upon to come, you have to show that you are the one with the NIMSI number which appeared after the prefix of the NIMSI. So you don't have to be worried about that. The second question regarding the qualification, if you look at the advertorial as well, those qualifications that we need have been clearly spelled out in the advertorial. We indicated those ones relevant to the agency, and we indicated the relevant rank that you should carry if you are successful. So I think that one should be your guide regarding the type of certification you are talking about. If you are a lawyer and you are qualified, called to bar, of course you start on a different grade level because you are coming here to practice as a lawyer. Then, of course, the last one, which you said the duration of the training, it depends on whether you are applying as a superintendent or you are coming in as a nurse. If you are coming in as a junior officer, then I think that level is, that training period is about, I think it's about 2 months or 3 months.
3 months.
3 months. MI can actually highlight on that. Then the other one is about 4 months or 5 months. So it could also highlight on that, because for the superintendent to go through a very detailed type of training, but there's a lot for them to know before they come out. Even as a lawyer, if you're coming in here to practice as a lawyer, you need to know the general duty work. You need to know what it is. NDLA is not like any civil service where you come in to start writing anything. It's where you have to know the technical issues before you commence your work here. And that is why you have to go through that training. So the training could be increased, it could be decreased depending on the facilities and the faculties we have at the training. But certainly it can be less than 4 months for the senior officer superintendent. Thank you.
Yeah, very well. Thank you, the agency secretary. We have quite a lot of requests. I don't know Yeah, I've removed him. That's an interruption that is not welcomed. Thank you for that. Let's quickly go to the next. Please just bear with us. As soon as we're done with those on the speaker's corner, we'll move to those pending requests. Just bear with us if we have not gotten to you. Okay, let's take the next from Chester Uche. That's at Uche Million. Chester Uche, are you there?
Yeah, I'm online. Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. I really have a question.
Yeah, Uche, if you don't have a question, let's just quickly give the opportunity. We have just less than 15 minutes.
So many places. It's really wonderful what the agency is doing. At least
Now, I think Chester has issues with his network. So, thank you. we can get at least I have an idea of what you are trying to say, or you started it. That's commending the agency. We appreciate you. Please, let's move to the next person so that we don't keep waiting for you. Apologies that you have some network issues there. Okay, let's take the next. I think we already had Abubakar Usman. Abubakar Usman, you've been here before. Okay, let's take the next from Abdulkadir Adewale. Abdulkadir Adewale, let's hear from you. Abdulkadir Adewale, if you are not ready, we'll move to the next person. Okay, let's go to Ojimba. Prince Ojimba.
I'm ready. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Go ahead, please. We can hear you.
Okay, please. I just want to ask a quick question. I don't know if it was asked earlier, but I didn't hear it. So I want to know a rundown of the calendar. I want to know the rundown of the calendar of this recruitment process of 2023, like the dates for the tests, when it will likely happen, then this date for the screening and all that.
Well, thank you, Ojimba. I don't think we need to. Obviously, you either came late or you weren't paying attention. Where that question had come up before, and the agency secretary has attended to it, but then he may also want to. Please let the agency secretary come on, please.
Okay, thank you very much. Ojimba, yes, like Femi said, we have addressed this question before. But for the benefit of those who are just joining us, and which of course includes you from what I can see, we have milestones for this recruitment process. The first milestone is that it will end on the 17th, midnight, and that is when the portal will be closed. And thereafter, we'll have 2 weeks to sort out the names and shortlist those ones who are actually qualified based on the criteria we indicated in our advertorial for the next step. And that next step, of course, involves a lot of logistics, which you also agree with me. It's not dependent on the agency alone. We have vendors who will be providing some of those.
Okay. I guess, okay.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, now you are clear now. Your network went
on Sunday night. And then they said they will need about 2 weeks to do the sorting of those who meet the criteria set on the advertorial. Then for the screening, and then CBT, which may take us about 3 to 4 weeks, depending on our vendors. Like somebody said, I gave a diplomatic answer. It's not diplomatic because here you can't say for another person who is coming to work for you. For us, we can say certainly that this is what we tend to do. We have those milestones, but of course, when you have vendors intervening, you have to also allow some flexibility regarding the timing, which is why we cannot tell you precisely that on this date everybody will come to be screened. But we want to achieve training in the second week of June, that those who are successful should be at the training school by the second week of June latest. And then thereafter we commence the process of training. So this is what we have planned, and I don't want to be held accountable for the specific dates we have given, because like I said, some of this job depends on our vendors. Left to us, I could give you the milestones we have in the agency to achieve. But most of the job, including this portal you are talking about, the portal is not hosted by the agency, though we are going through our agency. It's hosted in a very secure server space. And then they are doing the collation. So just like every other thing, the vendors will determine how it will go. The vendor for the screening, the vendor for the place of screening, for the CVT, and all those things will have to come to play. So, but then I can assure you that before the second week of June, we should be at the training of school. All things being
Okay, thank you so much for the answer.
Thank you very much, Prince Oji. That's enough from you for today. We have just less than 10 minutes. Let's give some 2-3 more persons the opportunity, okay? Prince Ojiba.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Thank you for your understanding. I appreciate. Let's quickly go to Datijo. Datijo, after Datijo, let Bana get ready. I think we're going to take the two of them together. Datijo, please quickly unmute yourself. Let's hear from you. Then let's Bana get ready.
Okay, thank you for me. Good afternoon, everyone. Please, my question was like, please, apart from preventing and alleviating drug abuse in the nation, please, is there anything else that MDLEA is willing to achieve? Please. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Datijo. Let's take, I'm sure the agent secretary has noted his question. Okay, Bana, that's at Itchy Fingers. You have itchy fingers. Okay, let's hear from you, Bana. If you are not ready, we move to the next person. Okay, let's hear from Abila Kwara.
Hello,
Okay, go ahead, Bana.
Good afternoon, everyone. My question is very plain and simple, but I don't know if the question has been answered before. Some agencies use their recruitment portals to send notifications for invitation for screening and all for candidates who applied. I don't know if the NDL is going to use our email or the recruitment portal to send notifications, because this portal is giving us some kind of issues logging into it, most especially this 500 error. I don't know how it's going to be, so that's the question.
Thank you. Let's invite the agency secretary to respond to the two questions from Datijo and Bana.
Okay, Datijo, thank you so much, because you moved a little bit from recruitment to the real work of the agency. That's a very good interest. And your question, if I can hear you very well, is apart from prevention of drug supply and drug demand, is there any other thing that the agency is doing or has achieved? Of course, yes, the bulk of our work is actually preventing drug supply and drug demand. That's the bulk of the work of the agency. Over and above that, we also try to assist those ones who are already hooked on drugs. We know that those ones who are using drugs are victims, and we try to assist those ones who walk in and say, look, we want to be counseled and rehabilitated. We have that. And we also have a toll-free telephone helpline where you can call without even mentioning your name. Let me use this opportunity to tell them, those ones who want to call, for instance, that we have a free toll telephone helpline. You can call from the comfort of your house or anywhere to say that, look, I have this problem and I want to be counseled. And indeed, the agency has done a lot to counsel a lot of people in that regard. So, and over and above that, we also do a lot of education to tell people why drug is bad, and those who are already in drug to tell them, look, come up for early drug tests to ensure that you get yourself wind of drugs. And then we do drug tests for those who want to know their status as well. We do these drug tests to ensure that if you are already going to become an addicted drug user, you should be able to help yourself by taking these steps to be counseled and rehabilitated. And if I will also use this opportunity, if you have your pen, I'll give you the toll-free line. Just take your pen and record this toll-free line. Tell your friends, if anybody has issue with drugs, we will not arrest you. You can even call without telling us where you are calling from. Or you can also speak without mentioning your name. And if you want to be referred to anywhere around where you are speaking from, we can refer you to that place. Our role is to ensure that you come out of drug and become a good citizen to the country. So the toll-free line is 080. Let me take it like this: 0800 10 20 30 40. I repeat: 0800 10 20 30 and 40. I think it's a very easy line for you to pick, to memorize, really. So if you have this, you can always call anytime in any language you want to speak to. You can speak in Igbo, Yoruba, or Hausa, or Pidgin English. We have people who will pick your calls and advise you, counsel you, and even refer you to where you think you can receive treatment. Then the second one is the question asking how the successful screened candidates will be invited for interview. Yes, we already imputed your email address and telephone number. We will not use the portal. We will call you and send you email messages as well as send text to the telephone you have given us. Please, let me tell you again, don't remove your SIM card and put in another one, because we may call you or we will send text to you, and if you don't receive that text, you will not know when you're called upon. So text will come simultaneously. We'll also send email message to your given telephone email address, and your email, make sure that it's working. Make sure your telephone is working anytime. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Agency Secretary. We have just barely 2 minutes, and I would actually like to give two board persons. I want to sincerely apologize to the hundreds of other people that having requests. I can see our usual friend, that's Dr. Jeffrey Gutterman. Well, I know Dr. Gutterman, he's not an applicant, and that's why we have to give preference to those applicants who so that they can. Apologies to quite a number, hundreds of you who are still pending. But then we'll just give this last two, Habiba Kwara. After Habiba Kwara, then Jerry Victor, and we'll close the space. Habiba Kwara, please go ahead quickly, and let Jerry Victor stand by.
Okay.
Go ahead quickly. You don't have the time.
Yes. 2019, I was shortlisted, and we have distance examination. I don't know. Thank you.
Are you done, Abila?
Yes.
Okay. So what's your question?
The question is about the CBT. I think I don't know if it's going to be a physical CBT or it's going to be remote CBT.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you very much. Thank you for that. Let's hear from Jerry Victor. Jerry Victor, quickly. You are the last person on this page today. Go ahead quickly.
Okay, good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. I want to quickly just commend your efforts for putting up this page today. Also, for the questions you've answered. So you've actually answered almost all my questions. So my only question now is, I want to just ask, for those that have submitted the applications already, is there any for correction? Because some people complain that they made mistake. I have a friend also said he couldn't upload his professional certificate when he was making the application. So I have to quickly know if there's still need for correction. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. I think those are two simple questions. Let me quickly add one more person and we close. Ibito Eshitu, go ahead and ask your question. Ibito Eshitu, quickly.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Femi. Good evening, everyone, and good evening, the Executive Secretary of the agency. You have really done well.
Eshitu, obviously, been a network issue there because I'm not hearing it. Okay, at this point, I think we'll have.
Hello.
We can't hear him from here.
Hello, can you hear me now, Mr. Femi?
Yes, you're not being heard.
Hello, Mr. Femi, sir. We can't hear you from here. I think probably because of network. We can't hear you at our end here.
Attention, it starts from the foundation. Everybody needs somebody. You turn a blind eye and care nothing less. Say it's just business, all about the money. You are so unbothered as long as they pay. Say it's just business, all about the money. You know they're on a fast lane, but you've got business to run, so you look away the other way. It concerns you, it kill love, it kill dreams, it land people for jail. War against drug abuse.
I was the head boy in my primary school, senior prefect and best graduating student in my secondary school, but drug abuse almost ruined my life.
I was on an average of 2 grams of cocaine per day.
I was taking 8 ampoules of pentazosine daily.
European shisha, cocaine.
I became a user, a dealer, and a gangster.
I saw other users drowning. I knew I didn't want to be like them, but I was already trapped.
My family disowned me.
My employment was terminated.
I sold my car, sold my house. I'll go out well-dressed and return shoeless, shirtless in exchange for drugs.
I was seeing things that were not real, and I once stabbed myself because I felt something crawling under my skin.
I contacted NDLE and started therapy.
I spent 3 months in therapy.
I spent 8 months.
It's easy to relapse, but your mind has to be stronger than the cravings.
Drugs does not love you. You are not the one using drugs. Drugs are the one using you. Say no to drug abuse.
Yes. Okay, sir, thank you very much, and we apologize for the network glitch. This brings us to the end of the program. For more information about the agency, our listeners can visit our social media handles, www.ndla.gov.ng, our website, and our social media handles at ndla_Nigeria on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And on Facebook, it is at ndla01. Do join us same time next week for another edition of this wonderful program.
I can stop it, I can leave it all. Oh, oh, oh.
go shut in my life. If I sit down, they do nothing. I don't go wait until it won't be. I don't go wait until it buy me. I cannot up what I make a drop so won't do me. Even though something must to kill a man.